All right, let's talk about the code that builds the internet. You've got HTML, right? That's the skeleton. And then you've got CSS, which is all the style. It's the language that basically paints the entire web. It picks the colors, the fonts, the layouts. It's the artist. But what if I told you that this artist has a hidden talent? A secret, logical superpower.
I know. It sounds kind of out there, doesn't it? How can a language that's just supposed to be choosing a shade of blue or, centering some text, how can it actually think? Can it perform logic? Can it solve problems? Well, that's exactly the mystery we're going to unravel today.
And this really lays it all out. On one hand, you've got the CSS we all know and love. It's our go-to tool for making websites look good. But on the other hand, it has this secret identity, a version of CSS that can actually count, apply logic, and even solve some pretty tricky puzzles. And we're about to see that hidden identity in action.
So to prove this, we need a challenge. And what better challenge for basic coding logic than a classic interview question, a little puzzle that goes by the name of FizzBuzz. It's a simple test, really, just to see if a developer can think logically, step by step.
The rules are incredibly simple. You just count from 1 up to 100. The twist is, for any number that's divisible by 3, you have to say fizz instead of the number. For any number divisible by 5, you say buzz. And if it's divisible by both, like, say, 15, you've got to say FizzBuzz.
Okay, so if you're a programmer, your brain immediately starts breaking this down, right? You need a counter, you need to check for multiples of 3, you need another check for multiples of 5, and then you need a special condition for when both of those are true. This sounds like a job for a real programming language, maybe Python or JavaScript. Or is it?
And this is where things get really cool. The solution we're about to look at uses zero JavaScript. No Python, nothing like that. It solves this entire logic puzzle using only the language of style, using only CSS. This is it. That's the whole thing. The entire solution in just 4 lines of CSS. I mean, it looks like some kind of magic spell, and honestly, in a way, it is. But how on earth does a simple style sheet pull off a whole counting game?
So let's pull back the curtain and decode this thing line by line. We're going to see just how clever this is. There are no hidden tricks here, just an absolutely elegant use of the rules of CSS.
First things first, you got to count. This first line does exactly that. It tells the browser, hey, for every list item you see, every li tag, I want you to tick up a counter that we're going to call n. So 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. We have our sequence. Simple enough? Okay, now the logic starts to creep in. This rule says, before each list item, I want you to display the current number from our counter, unless that item is a multiple of 5. This is such a critical move. It prints out 1, 2, 3, 4, but it leaves a blank space where 5, 10, and 15 should be, perfectly setting the stage for our buzz. And this next part is just brilliant. It uses a CSS selector, nth-child 3n, to target every single third item on the list. For those items, 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on, it completely overrides whatever was there before and just sticks the word fizz in front of it. And here it is. This is the masterstroke. This final rule targets every 5th item. But did you notice? It uses dash after, not dash before. So for the number 5, it adds buzz after the item. For 10, it adds buzz. But what about 15? Well, rule number 3 has already put fizz before it. And now this rule comes along and adds buzz after it. And what do you get? FizzBuzz. It's just absolutely genius. So that's how it works. But you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool party trick, but what's the point? And you're right. You're obviously not going to build your company's website this way. This isn't about being practical. It's about something bigger. It's a demonstration of pure ingenuity. This is a perfect example of something that coders call code golfing. It's the art of trying to solve a problem with the absolute minimum amount of code possible. It's all about pushing the tools you have to their absolute limits and finding these beautiful, creative solutions where nobody else even thought to look. And how minimal are we talking? Get this. When you strip out all the extra spaces, this entire logical engine, the counter, the checks, the whole FizzBuzz output, is done in just 152 characters. That is shorter than a tweet. It's just a testament to incredible efficiency and elegance.
When you get right down to it, the big takeaway here isn't even about CSS. It's about perspective. It's a perfect example that proves that even the most familiar, everyday tools can have these surprising, hidden powers if we're just creative enough to look for them. And really, that leaves us with one final thought. Think about the tools you use every day, the software on your computer, maybe even the appliances in your kitchen. What secret superpowers are we all overlooking? What amazing problems could we solve if we just thought about a familiar tool in a completely new way?